Well, hello everyone. My name's Quila Buhler. I am a Presidential Silver Ambassador out of the United States. We've been with Reliv for about 23 years. We were looking for a business. I got great results on these products, and we were literally able to build a multi-million-dollar business off of our kitchen table. And I'm excited because tonight I'm going to be talking about objections and how to overcome them. Objections are so much fun. It's really how you look at it. You know, a lot of people get confused when someone tells you no or they're not interested, and they think that they're rejecting them, when really what they're doing is they're just rejecting the message. Do you know that Kentucky Fried Chicken, Colonel Sanders, when he had his recipe, he was rejected 1,100 times, but he kept going because he believed in what he had. Dr. Seuss, the Cat in the Hat books, you know, Horton Hears a Who, all those books, he was turned down 21 times, but he believed in himself. Babe Ruth, the baseball player, he struck out 1,200 times. What about our beloved Dr. Calagras? He had over 850 formulations until he found that perfect combination that created our flagship product. So we need to stop worrying about the things that are probably going to happen down the road, but we worry so much about it. Disasters don't need a dress rehearsal. Start thinking positive. And it's not what you think you are that holds you back. It's what you think that you're not. And that's very, very important. And as long as you're focused on the goals that you set for yourself, there's no way that an objection can keep you from getting where you want to be. So let's talk about how to overcome objections. So first of all, if someone asks you, I mean, there's so many different things. I think it's important that you want to make sure that you're understanding what your prospect says. So you want to repeat back to them what they're saying. You don't want to be intimidated by an objection. They're really a request for more information. I love this. I've had people do this to me before. People will say, well, you're not going to talk to me about a business, are you? And I just look back at them and say, well, it's really up to you. And they're like, oh, okay. And I think that posturing is huge. When you're talking to someone and you're sharing Reliv, you don't want to go up to them and go, well, would you like to hear about a business opportunity? Most people are going to go, no. Okay, you need to be able to go up to them and talk to them with the passion. Say, you know what, there's something that you would really benefit from. You need to take a look at this. This is a phenomenal business opportunity. It's a company that's been around for 26 years. It's solid. I like what I see, and I really believe that this is something that you might want to take a look at. I mean, if people tell you no, it's okay. And if someone says, no, I don't know, then I'm going to go back to them and say, well, who do you know that's looking for a business opportunity? And you know, timing's everything. It might not be the right time for you, and that's okay. I will tell you, I absolutely positively love objections. They're quite fun. So we want to flush out all the objections to make sure that they're out of the way. So if I'm doing a presentation with someone, and if I'm looking at them and I feel that they're kind of glazed over, and they're not really, you know, looking at me, I will stop the presentation. And I'll say, you know, well, there's a couple things I'll do. If someone's doing that to me, I'll just look at them and I'll go, you know, I don't want to waste my time, and I don't want to waste yours either. Is this something that you would still like to know about? And most people are like, oh, yeah, Or I'll have people that are doing that, and then sometimes what I'll do is I'll just say, I'll stop the presentation. I'll say, you know, I think you might have a few questions. Let me go ahead and address those. If you're wondering, you know, and maybe it's about how we market the product, or the compensation plan, or is the product you know, genetically modified? No. I mean, I'll answer those questions if I think that that's something that they might be interested in. So, and I'll just say, is there any questions that you have before we get started, so that I can make sure, or that we can make sure that, you know, you're hearing this. Again, if you treat it like a business, that's what you're going to get out of it. If you treat it like a hobby, well, hobbies cost money. And an interest, well, that's okay, but it's never going to be what it could be. So when someone says no to you, don't argue. I just go back and highlight the benefits of what we have. You know, you want to look for buying signals. How much does it cost? Here's a couple things. Let me go back to the don't argue. I've had people that literally will I've gone on I went on one appointment where a guy was there, and I was talking to his wife, and he goes, well, just, go ahead, let's do the dog and pony show. And I looked at him and I said, I'm sorry. I go, what did you say? And I heard what he said. He goes, this dog and pony thing. He goes, let's just go ahead and do it. And he kind of sits back, and his arms were crossed and folded. And I just said, this is a business. And I said, I'm actually here to talk to your wife. I go, she's the one that invited me. And I said, you are more than happy to, more than welcome to sit with us. I go, but I'm going to be talking to your wife. And he's like, oh. And he unfolded his arms and he sat forward. You guys, that's what I'm talking about, posturing. You don't let people bully you around. It's very, very important that you understand that. Know what you have. Okay, buying signals, how much does it cost? All right, that can get me to that point, but also if that's all that a person is talking about, I'm probably not going to put them on the product, because what they're looking at when they're asking how much does it cost and what's the return policy, those are like immediate signals that they're trying to do me a favor. And I'll just tell them, I'd say, you know what, Becky, this probably isn't for you. And they'll say, no, I'm interested. And I'd say, you know what, why don't we wait a couple weeks and see if it's something that's still there? Because, and I'll just be honest, I just tell them that in the past when I have people that are interested in those two things, they're really more interested in a refund later on down the road. And I said, I've only given out refunds 5 of my entire life, so I want to keep it there, so we're good. And when you're in control of that, and when you're not just hanging on every string for one sale, you've got a lot more power, and it's important. So, some common objections you might hear. I've tried network marketing before, and I failed. And I just go back to them and I say, well, so do you in the rest of the world, so what company were you with? And a lot of people will say Amway. And I'll say, well, so is everybody else. And I said, you obviously like that form of distribution. You just didn't find the right company. Let me show you how this works. You guys, it's that easy. All right, I just go, I'm honest, I've answered their objection, I've dealt with them, and now here we go. My friends told me these things never work, and I would just listen, and I ask them, and I go, well, how are your friends, are they successful in their life? Are they moving forward? And most people's friends are people that are trying to, quote unquote, protect them. And I just tell them the truth. I'll say, you know what, the fact is that there are a lot of things out there that you should be wary of. But the wonderful thing is, with the Better Business Bureau, we have an A+ credit rating. We're with the, we're on the NASDAQ Stock Exchange. All the different things in the states. And I'll just tell them that really should give you comfort. And then it depends on if I know who told them that, and if they're not going, I'd say, well, why would you listen to somebody that's more, screwed up than you are? You wouldn't want to do that. And so they laugh and, all that. All right, I don't have the time. My comment is, if you don't change your time, and if you don't make time to do anything different, your life will never change. You will never, ever have time. So this is something that you really need to take a look at. So we get to work, and they took a look at it. Is this a pyramid scheme? I love this one. So when someone does this to me, and I love it, this is the funnest one, I actually will just go to them and I'll say, seriously, do you really think that I'd be involved with something that's illegal? Good grief. And then I'll go, here, so let me just explain this to you. And I just work right into it, and they're like, they turn red and like they're very embarrassed. And they should be. But, I like to let people know that a pyramid scheme is something where there's no product. And a pyramid scheme is where people get paid to bring in distributors. And we do not get paid to bring in distributors. That's why you have a lot of influx in all these different companies where people will jump from ship to ship. They'll bring their little crew and find something new, and then they make money, and then they'll go to another one. But they're not sharing a product, and we have a product. When someone tells me also, if you want to have fun with this, is this a pyramid scheme? Okay, again, this is fun, so this is a joke, okay? But I'll look at them and I'll go, absolutely. And you know what? Let's just go ahead and get that little Swiss bank account and get your life affairs in order. You'll be in jail for about 3 years, but you'll make millions. And their jaw will drop and their eyes will get real big, and I'll go, come on, do you really think I'd be doing that? And they're like, no. And I said, that's the silliest question I've ever heard. Pyramids are illegal. And then I go right into it. Okay, so you guys have fun with this. I can't afford it. And my comment on that is, or they'll say it's expensive. And my comment is, compared to what? You know, you're going to pay now or pay later. And here's the thing. I use the example of my mom. You know, my mom was an individual that she smoked the most of her life, and she's broken her hip, and she never ever did anything from a nutritional side to take care of herself. And she's sick. She's dying prematurely, and you're going to pay now or pay later. The fact is, when you get on this, I tell them, again, this is not theory, reality. No one in our family is on any kind of medication. Myself, my husband, my 2 daughters, my grandbaby, my son-in-law, all right? None of us have had cavities for 23 years. We only go to the doctor once a year for a well baby check. My oldest daughter, who is 28, went to the doctor 5 months ago because she hadn't been for 10 years. You're going to save money, and you're going to feel better if you're on Reliv than if you're not. It's just that simple. I don't want to sell anything. Well, you know, the fact is that everything that we do is selling. Whether it's trying to get a job, we have to sell ourselves. Whether it's, you know, trying to get involved in church community things, we're selling ourselves. The difference here is that if you go out and you watch a good movie and you tell other people about it, you're not getting a royalty from that. But it's different with this. When we get benefits and we love these products and we're going out and sharing them, that's what we're doing. So I'm not going to tell you you're not selling, because we're marketers. We have products and we earn income when people consume them. So from a dictionary standpoint, you are selling. But I will tell you, I honestly don't feel like I've ever sold anything, because I don't have that hidden agenda at the end. I'm sharing from my heart. And when I'm doing that, those products, they fly off the shelves. And according to that dictionary, that would be selling. But when we're meeting people's needs, that word kind of comes out of the vocabulary. How long have you been doing this, or how long have you been in Reliv? Okay, you that are brand new on this, you're thinking, sure, she can do it. She's been involved for 23 years. Well, here's what you can say. And again, do not parrot this. Don't be a, you know, people aren't flow charts. They don't fall into categories of what you want them to say. But you could say something like this. You know what? I really like this company. I have done my homework. I've done my research. I like what I see, and I'm going to build a business here, and this is something that you should seriously take a look at it. Or you could say, I absolutely love these products. People are getting phenomenal results, and this is something that you could benefit from too. I mean, I don't see why you'd be any different than the rest of the world. So you can go into that. How would I build this business? Well, here's the thing. This is the objection. How would I build this business? The answer is, this is a business where you're in business or for yourself, but not by yourself. There's a team here. You know, the whole thing is you want to be independent. When people sign an application, it does not say Reliv dependent distributor. It says Reliv independent distributor. But in the beginning, I'm going to teach you. Just like if I was going to go buy a franchise, whether it would be you know, McDonald's or Kentucky Fried Chicken or whatever it is, I'd have to learn how to do the deep fat fryer. I'd have to learn how to do the shake machine. No different in Reliv. You need to learn how to do all this. But don't get so caught up in all of the, you know, the parameters that you forget how simple it is to talk to people. We complicate this way too much. We know people, we talk to them, we put them on the product, and we earn income. It's that simple. Can you guarantee that I'll make money? No. It's that simple. No, but I can show you what everyone else has done. And, you know, the system that we have works for everybody else, so it could probably work for you too. And, you know, I'll give you quickly an acronym for system. It's saving yourself significant time, energy, and money. All right, we talked about expensive. Let me think about it. And my comment is, you know, some people are going to go, well, what's there to think about? All right. And if you're comfortable doing that, that's fine. And if the person that you're with knows that that's, you know, you're going to be okay with that. But there's some other people that really do want to think about it. I mean, I had a gal, Debbie Grins. I'm going to use her, I think, in another example, in another workshop that I do down the road. But Debbie, we did a presentation, and it was the last presentation of the afternoon for me, 2 hours away, and I did not bring enough shakes, and I need my shakes. And in the afternoon, my head was just nodding. And I know I got all the numbers wrong, and I did the worst appointment ever. And I called my husband, and I said, Jim, I'm driving home, and I'm like, ooh, I just did terrible. And anyway, it was so terrible that she ended up telling me that she wanted to think about it. And I honestly felt that I had just completely blown her off. Well, the next day she called me and she goes, we'd like to move forward, and they ended up going master affiliate. So when people want to think about it, I'll say, well, did I answer all the questions regarding the business? Let me show you how this works, any questions on the product, and answer their questions so that they can get answered. That's the most important thing. Just remember that when we are dealing with objections, that if someone asks you something, don't go, just go back at them. And again, I don't want to say, well, if they're in your face, get in their face, but it's that posturing. Have confidence when you are talking with someone. Know what you have, and don't be railroaded by an objection. They're good. They're fun. They're real. So just answer it and move on. Okay, that's the most important things. Pretty soon, you're going to find that objections are really the funnest part of any appointment that you do. So have a great week, everyone, a great month, and we'll talk to you next time.